You ready to see the third and final Venom movie?
I just don't get it. We couldn't get a third Aquaman movie. Couldn't get a third Wonder Woman movie. Couldn't even get a second Superman movie, but there's a f***ing Venom trilogy!
Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we're watching Venom, The Last Dance. So Bill, what did you think of the third and final Venom movie?
It sure was the third and final one.
Yeah, it is insane that this exists. It's insane that there are 3 Venom movies.
It's the one thing Sony sort of figured out. Like, they're dumb, but people kind of find them entertaining, and they managed to get 3 of them made.
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, I wouldn't say they're great movies by any stretch of the imagination, but like...
No, they're just silly little... kill an hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Hardy's fun being Venom,
I mean, he's basically just acting off of himself.
Yeah.
For most of this movie.
Seriously. I mean, the Venom voice is pretty fun. But yeah, this is the third Venom movie. Sony, has tried to make other villains into movie franchises, but this is the only one they did right. And oddly enough, it was the first one. And then they tried 3 more times, with results varying on that other one coming out later this year.
I guess the jury's still out on Kraven, but I mean, come on, really? Why would you ever make a movie with Kraven where he's not hunting Spider-Man? The only thing anyone wants to see Kraven do, hunt Spider-Man.
It's a weird move. I don't get it. Venom was the one character that was yeah, okay, I guess Venom could have its own movie. It is disappointing. He does not have any connection to Spider-Man whatsoever, and just has...
Well, no, he's got one connection. He saw him on TV that one time.
That's right. But I guess that's one thing about movie Venom now that I'm always a little bit irked about is just movie Venom looks pretty good, except he never gets his giant white spider symbol ever. So he's just kind of got massive black space on his chest, and it's just
there's a vague shape of veins where the spider would be.
Yeah, but that little detail is... Movie Venom's pretty fun. I don't know what to say about Venom: The Last Dance, except what a weird title.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess it's kind of based... What was that? Was that Michael Jordan documentary or something?
Oh.
Something
yeah,
dance?
I don't know it off the top of my head, but yeah, I think...
It feels like a play on that.
Okay. But it's the final Venom movie. It takes place more or less directly from where Venom 3 left off.
Well, technically it takes place where the post-credit scene of Spider-Man Home actually starts with a weird, slightly different version of the post-credit scene from Spider-Man No Way Home.
That's right.
And yeah, we're pretty much he spent a couple days on a bender in the MCU, comes back, Venom, the audience is oh, fuck the multiverse.
Yeah. It's kind of dumb. What the hell was that about?
It was just something Sony really wanted. They want people to think their movies are connected to the MCU.
I guess so.
That was part of their provisions for Spider-Man to be in things for MCU, I guess. I don't know.
I guess they have that new logo that we've seen for a couple years now where it says in association with Marvel.
Yeah, mostly just been on the Sony stuff, though. I think it was also on the New Mutants.
Okay.
But not Dark Phoenix. Go figure.
Weird. Yeah, so we got Venom, on the run as a fugitive because...
I guess they think he killed that cop who thought he was still alive, but I haven't rewatched Let There Be Carnage, so I don't remember.
He was still alive. I mean, he was the guy in the prison cell.
But then they were they claim he died.
Right.
So, I don't know, he's still wanted and questioning for that, and... Yeah, he's on the run, and then, oh, by the way, there's a creepy man in space sitting on a throne of tendrils with a sword or something.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, it's just by the way, the main villain of this movie, which, technically Venom doesn't fight, is this guy called Null. He's a heavy metal album cover. He's a guy, with, pale skin, white hair, sitting on a throne with a bunch of monsters around him. I'm okay, it's a heavy metal cover.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
which is kind of weird.
They introduced this weird concept, and I'm glad they explained it because it was like, oh wait, why are they suddenly special? Oh, it's only they have this like codex in them, which means they could free Null from his prison, but it's only because Eddie briefly died in the first Venom movie.
Yeah. Another superhero movie with a superhero having a codex inside of him, like Superman.
Yeah, but that never went anywhere.
No, it didn't. But yeah. So Venom is being hunted by Null, who is a character from the comics that I'm not even going to try to explain because I really know nothing about him except he created the symbiotes.
I think he has something to do with the Necro Sword.
Yes.
That's all I got. I've never read any of that stuff.
Some sort of elder of the universe, Marvel cosmic thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually a Venom villain, so there's that. He's
that.
not a repurposed Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Yep.
And you know what? Venom didn't fight another symbiote at the end of this movie.
That's true. He didn't.
But there was a hell of a lot of symbiotes.
There really were.
The whole Power Rangers team worth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. You know, this movie's so strange and...
It's mostly straightforward because it's kind of just a road movie a bit.
Yeah, he's just on the run the entire movie.
Yeah, you know, you get the little Venom horse bit, which I'm a little confused with that. He can't be his full Venom form because that makes them detectable by the weird giant monster things that they send looking for him.
When they're combined.
But why? But only when they're combined?
Yes.
Okay, that kind of threw me because I'm like, oh, so he can symbiote a horse, a fish, a frog.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
I guess it makes sense if it's just the two of them together.
And I guess the thing with, like, you know, Eddie and Venom is, like, Venom can, you know, temporarily take over other things, but ultimately is bonded to Eddie and needs to go back to him after a certain point, I think. Either that or... I think they said, like, Eddie was, like, you know, a really good host for Venom or something.
He was like a perfect match.
Yeah.
Because all the other hosts that he tried out were like...
They'll eventually die.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they're temporary.
Yeah. Like Mrs. Chen.
Oh, yeah.
Who's randomly in this movie.
Yeah. Which is kind of like one of the funnest parts of the movie.
She's responsible for the titular last dance.
Yeah.
The literal dance.
The Venom dance number.
That felt like someone was trying to make a meme or some bullcrap.
Yeah.
They're like trying to deliberately do what, I don't know, Sam Raimi kind of did by accident with the dancing Peter Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, he didn't do it completely by accident. I'm sure he knew it was silly.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know, but Sam Raimi's kind of a silly man. He likes the Three Stooges. That man likes Simpsons silly.
Yeah, but that's pretty fun. It is kind of like hilarious, like how like, you know, gigantic Venom is, and he's just dancing with this old lady, and like, man, I will say Venom looks better in this movie than he does in the other movies. Like,
you would hope. You don't want it to look worse.
Yeah, like the visual effect for Venom like is like the best they've got it now. Where
we do see like some brief snippets from the previous movies, and yeah, it does look like it's gotten better.
Yeah,
which is good. It should look better, not worse.
Yeah.
It's when it looks worse that's concerning.
It's funny though, because like Venom's powers are like all over the place. Like I remember in the like Spider-Man cartoon, Venom could just like morph into clothes, but like in this one, like he can't, or at least like the symbiote could morph into clothes, but Eddie's just wearing like weird random shit throughout most of the movie until he gets the suit.
I mean, he had his beach clothes that he had at the end of, well, I don't even know. I can't remember if that's what he was wearing at the end of Venom, Let There Be Carnage, but at the very least what he was wearing in the post-credit scene of No Way Home.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because, like, you know, they end up befriending this, like, I don't know, like, kind of, like, hippie-ish family.
Well, the parents are certainly hippies.
Yeah.
The kids are just like, well, the daughter's like, oh, God.
There's a pretty good moment where, like, the guy, like... gives Eddie some food, and then like he's like nothing on this plate was killed, and then like Venom is immediately like hard pass, like just like no meat or anything, just like no.
It's weird to me that was the guy that played the Lizard.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until you pointed that out to me.
Did you also realize there was another Marvel villain in this movie?
Yeah, it was Baron Mordo.
Okay,
yeah.
You know, you got that one. Okay, good.
Which I was just like, he played Military Man.
He did play Military Man.
Yeah. It's weird too because there's like also like this like subplot of like this scientist lady that like as a child she was like struck by lightning while holding her brother's hand and her brother died and she took over her brother's dream of being an alien scientist or whatever.
And she's got like some scars.
Yeah.
And then she slaps a symbiote on it way later than she probably should have. That then heals the scars.
Yes, and gets...
What was the point of all that crap?
I don't know.
This felt tedious. Felt unnecessary.
It was like a weird like subplot that I'm just like, is this lady gonna be like a love interest for Eddie or something? And it's like they barely interact.
Yes. She's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be one thing if it was just like, oh, I'm just scientist lady. Okay. But I'm scientist lady with a bit of a character arc. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. I can appreciate the effort at least with like, trying to give some characters like quirks. Like there's the other scientist lady that I believe they probably said the name, but she's like unnamed, who wears like a Christmas pin for some reason.
I feel like General Baron Mordo just called her Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm sure she had a name, but it wasn't mentioned enough for me to remember it.
Like they didn't really flesh out the general at all. Like
no,
he's just like the general.
Yeah, and he talks to weird shadow government guy.
Yeah, and he says like the government shadow guy says, "I'll give you permission to use the 6," and it's just like, what does that mean? What is happening?
Is that like a weird holdover?
Yeah.
Did someone forget to cut that from your aborted Sinister Six plans that you're never gonna do? Sony, please stop it, please.
Are you hinting at your larger universe that's not gonna happen?
That you've basically given up on because Morbius became a joke and Madam Web became a joke.
Yeah.
And Kraven also exists.
And at least as of right now started off as a joke. I guess when the movie comes out, we'll see what happens. But in that first trailer, he was bitten by a lion and got lion powers. Are you kidding me?
That's what it looked like.
And I get it, that Spider-Man is bitten by a spider and gets spider powers. But you know what? It's lame if it happens with multiple animals. Because...
Do you think the rhino gets bit by a rhino to get his rhino powers?
I mean, I hope so. Yeah, he's fighting the rhino, huh?
Apparently.
Yeah. I don't know. Kraven the Hunter, that's a thing happening this year. And, so he was just like, this is a good idea.
What a weird year for comic book movies.
It really is.
The walking punchline that was Madam Web. The glorious triumph of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
I didn't see Joker 2. And
a lot of people didn't, from what it looks like.
Yep. And Venom 3 just there chilling.
Yeah.
And fucking Kraven.
See what happens. I mean, Venom The Last Dance is not bad. I mean, if you like the other Venom movies, you'll probably like this. It's more or less a satisfying conclusion to like this like Venom story arc that...
Unless you expected Venom to fight Null in some regard.
Yeah,
unless he does.
That's true. I mean... Yeah, I guess, there's always got to be, like, a weird, like, post-credit, like, the story goes on and Noel makes some sort of speech in the post-credit. Yeah.
Was it to us?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, what band does this cover from?
Todd McFarlane?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, he didn't create Null.
No, just Venom.
The thing I love about Null being in this movie is that the guys that created Null found out when we all did when they dropped that trailer. They're like, what?
Yeah. It's kind of insane because he's a relatively new character, I think. Like
in the grand scheme of things, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like less than a decade old, possibly.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago.
I know there's like a cosmic powered Venom or a Null powered Venom that gets like wings and shit.
There's been rumors that the next Spider-Man movie, which they just announced a release date for, had a rumored title of The King in Black, people thinking that he's going to be the villain. Because they even said that Null isn't one and done, which he, I guess, isn't, but who's he going to fight? Kraven? The only logical thing is, I guess he's going to somehow fight Spider-Man. That guy he doesn't usually fight because he's a Venom villain. So, rumors and speculation abound that we're getting a Spider-Man reunion again.
Okay.
With all the Spider-Mans. Maybe we throw in Tom Hardy and that little symbiote piece that's in the MCU finds him.
Or do we just have Tom Hardy doing the voice of the Venom that gives Peter Parker the black suit. And they just like go with that logic where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, the symbiote like can talk.
I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, weird multiversal team up with 3 Spider-Mans and a Venom.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would watch that. It would finally give the excuse if like Tom Hardy does show up for like one more movie and then like gets the Venom symbiote and he gets the white spider on him finally.
I mean, he'll look
like, oh, he looks comic book accurate finally.
You know what they're gonna do? They'll rip off Deadpool and Wolverine. It's like right before the final battle, Wolverine puts the mask on. Right before the final battle, Venom's gonna look around at the different Spider-Mans they all got spider logos, and then just like whoop, there it is.
Yeah.
It's like, why'd you do that? I want it to be included.
Yeah. Felt left out.
I didn't know you could do that. There's lots of things I can do.
Yeah. But yeah, Venom is fun. He's got this like almost like impatient child attitude about stuff.
Yeah, he really does. Has not grown out of it because, well, all 3 of these movies only span a year apparently.
Yeah. But I don't know what else I could say about Venom 3. It's fun.
It's
I don't
okay.
even know if this is like a movie like worth going to the movies to see, to be perfectly honest. It is like, it's cool, but
I mean, the Venom movies are all kind of small scale compared to a lot of the other superhero movies.
yeah.
I'll give Sony credit. They know how to manage money. They don't burn $250 million.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They at least make these, relatively reasonable, and, they've never been in like we spent like $190 million on like a Venom movie.
We spent $200 million on a court drama musical. What?
Yeah. Just weird. It's like the year of the villains.
Results may vary.
Yeah.
I mean, just 4. Madam Web's not a villain.
Oh yeah, I guess she's not, huh?
It's been an interesting year for Batman villains.
Yeah.
Very 180 from one another in terms of audience response.
Indeed.
The maligned Joker Folie à Deux and the highly acclaimed The Penguin, which is really freaking good so far.
It is really good. But yeah, the Venom movies.
This has been the year of, what is it, spum?
Spum.
There's a lot of spum this year,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, so much spum.
Madam Web, Venom, Craven.
It's so weird. All these Spider-Man properties without Spider-Man. It's just like, come on. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will say, maybe because Lord and Miller are involved, I am kind of intrigued by the Spider Noir show. And you know what? Even though if he might just be Ben Reilly instead of Peter Parker, it's still Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And those images that came out, they look pretty good.
It will be interesting to see what it's like. But yeah, the Venom movies are done.
Because Venom's dead, spoilers.
Yeah, he fought Carnage in the second movie, which was just like, well, maybe we should save that for the finale, but like, whatever. I guess, weird cosmic space god guy that he doesn't fight. He just fights weird alligator monsters.
Yeah, that was not as exciting as him fighting Carnage.
Yeah.
Because at least I was like, yeah, Venom and Carnage are fighting at least.
Yeah. But
maybe we'll see him again. Or maybe we'll never see Null again and that mid-credit scene was pointless.
Who knows?
Just like that post-credit scene being pointless.
Eddie Brock is back in New York City at the very end.
Yep.
So.
I mean, it pays off the little, I want to see the Statue of Liberty thing. So,
Yeah.
They tried to have a little bit of emotion. Not a lot, just a little bit of emotion.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And with that being said, I can't really think of anything else about Venom.
It's okay. It's not great. If you don't like the other ones, you're not going to like this one. If you like them enough, give it a watch at some point. It's kind of fun. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not spectacular.
It's a decent, movie. I mean,
I didn't sit there, I didn't get mad. I didn't feel like, I was like, oh God, what have I done?
Yeah. I was never bored during the movie, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Venom
It's
Venom and Tom Hardy are fun.
It's a fun little romp.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I guess with that being said, that's the Out of Touch podcast for this week.
How the hell did Venom get a trilogy? Who sold their soul to Null?